Hi, I'm Giancarlo.
And I'm Felicia.
And this is our review of...
Livestock
Oh
Uprising.
my god! Like how? It's even here. It's written here. It's written
Livestock Uprising.
Very
I said
good.
it right. What's throwing me off is all these freaking farm animals with military hats
Well, when
on.
you read, you're supposed to look at the letters, not the farm animals. You
Dude,
read.
this is a little freaking distracting. A freaking chicken with a hat. Come on.
What about the pig with the little helmet?
Yeah,
there?
the chicken's the most... Like, look at him. He looks freaking high. He looks like he smoked freaking 3 joints.
That pig does look
He
like
looks
he smoked
high.
about 3 joints.
Look at him.
And this one like took like some crack.
Yeah, this guy... In Livestock Uprising, players take control of one of the 4 farm animal factions and wage war against each other. In the box, you'll find 4 faction boards. Each player will choose to play as either the pigs, cows, goats, or chickens and take the appropriate board. 12 general cards. Each player takes their 3 corresponding general and places them in front of them. 4 barn tiles. 12 special forces cards. Each player takes their 3 corresponding special forces and adds them to their hand. 4 super army tokens. Each player will put theirs in the bases. 18 command cards. Deal 3 to each player, placing them in their hand, and return the rest to the box. 8 battle plans, which you'll shuffle and create a deck. 50 trooper cards representing different farm animals. Separate them in their respective groups and form face-up decks with them. 4 dice used for combat. 125 resource tokens placed in a pool. 60 board tiles with numbered backs for easy player count use. Take the numbered tiles equal in lore to the number of players you are and shuffle them face down. Each player now places 1 tile at a time and creates a grid a size depending on the number of players you are. Then each player will choose an area to place their barn, and then each player resumes to finalize the grid. Each player places their general tokens on their barn. Randomly determine a first player, and you're now ready for animalistic war. Be the last standing faction, and you win.
Each turn consists of these steps in this order: action phase, harvest phase, and marshaling phase. In the action phase, the player may choose to move or attack with each of his generals. They are allowed to move 2 spaces each and diagonally as well. To attack, a general needs to be adjacent to an enemy general that is not in their faction's barn. When attacking, players need to compare attack values, which is the total number by the fire icon on all the generals and troop cards, against the defense value, which is the total number by the armor icon from their troop cards. Then each player rolls a single die, adding it to their value, and the highest wins. This outcome will make the losing player suffer a casualty by them discarding one of their troops from their losing general back to their respective deck. Generals alone cannot become a casualty unless beaten by a super army, which we'll get into later. If it was the attacker who won, the defender must move his general token in an adjacent square, and the attacker moves in. If the defender won, they both stay where they are.
The second step is harvest. If your general is on a tile containing a resource icon, they can harvest it, should they have the required farm animal to do so. What an animal can harvest is noted at the bottom of their card. Note that generals can harvest grass. When harvesting, take the appropriate resource token, which can be used to buy other troops, which brings us to marshaling.
Each troop card, including special forces, has a cost which is listed on the faction boards. Simply turn in the resource tokens, take the appropriate card, and place it under one of your general's cards to denote where the troop is on the map. These are all the same except for the special forces, which have different costs and attack and defensive stats. Note that generals can only have a maximum of 5 troops each under their command. Players can choose to transfer troops between general if they are adjacent to each other, and once this step is done, the next player in clockwise order acts.
At any point during the game, a player may choose to create a super army. To do so, all his generals must be in their faction's barn, and declare he wants to form a super army. Replace 3 general tokens with the super army token. Discard all resource token as that player can no longer marshal any more units. Draw a battle plan card. Flip the faction board and place your 1-star general token on the number totaling the attack value of all your troops. Place your 3-star general on the number totaling all your troops' defense. Now here are the special rules for super armies. They cannot harvest, they may move 3 tiles per turn. They can enter an army's faction barn. It attacks and defends with 2 dice. When they win, either attacking or defending, they cause 2 casualties, and they can kill generals should they not have enough troops as casualties. Super armies can do joint attacks against a more powerful one. When 2 armies are adjacent to another one, they simply total their attack value and roll 2 dice. However, the joint attackers lose their next turn. Be the last standing army and you win.
Livestock Uprising. Where do I begin? Okay, let's start with the pros. Good firm boards, cards, tokens, and tiles. Theme is cute, well represented with some quirky, slightly amusing artwork and catchphrases, and the different factions are unique. The cows have high defense, the goats high attacks, the chicken can move faster, and the pigs can harvest more, which makes them extremely broken. And that's just one of the problems this game has. There's this linear wash, rinse, repeat mechanic that is simply what the game is about. You'll move to a grass spot because it's the only resource you can harvest with your general. You'll get the sacrificial sheep because it can harvest hay, which will make you buy the dynamite donkey to harvest corn, and so on and so on. Players have no choice but to follow this pattern. And the whole either move or attack per turn was just mind-boggling. You can't launch an attack unless you're already adjacent to an enemy token, and why would I waste my time chasing it when it can simply move away the next turn? I was sure we were playing it wrong, but the rulebook clearly states move or attack. So you're building this army to become a super army, and then you go around and each turn you simply attack another army to inflict 2 casualties, and on. So you can roll the die, and after dozens of turns until someone is left standing, which at that point we just didn't care. It's basically you hoping you get lucky if your stats are lower, because there's definitely a runaway winner problem. I mean, even ganging up on him will make you lose your next turn, so what's the point? There's no other way of getting command cards, but some of them are just so much better than the others, and you get the short end of the stick really early on from the get-go. Replay value, there is none. You will be playing the same game every time by harvesting grass, buying sheep, etc, etc, etc. We were excited when we saw Dogmite Game, as we loved their other game we reviewed, Lake Billy. But Livestock Uprising left a sour note on our game night. 3 stinking carcasses, to be exact, out of 10.